This is Ditch Diggers, Season 11, Episode 9.
Ditch Diggers here, and ain't no wannabes here. With some not so nice advice for your writing career. To be clear, no punches will be pulled, but the punch may be spiked. How they like before they get on the mic. To my left, we got the mighty Mer Lafferty. And if I piss her off, believe me, she'll come after me. And her co-host, Ursula Vernon. On the right, yeah, she's burning to recite a slime mold speech tonight. So settle in, folks, buckle in and boot up. Time to meddle in a way to make your writer shut up. It's hard work, but the perk is that it's fun and exciting. Facebook will still be there when you're done writing. Ditch Diggers! Ditch Diggers!
And coming to you live from the Ditch Digger Manor and
the Lawnmower Racing Stable.
the Lawnmower Racing Stables. It is the Ditch Diggers with Mer and Ursula, aka T. Kingfisher. You're becoming so big that I'm wondering if we should start calling you T. Kingfisher overall. Should we?
That is totally fine. You can change this to with T. Kingfisher. I don't mind at all.
I'm just wondering, like, if what you would prefer. It's kind of like, well, I call you Ursula, but
I mean, you can continue to call me Ursula on the show, because if you call me T, I might not respond right away. But for advertising purposes, T. Kingfisher will get you a lot more eyeballs than Ursula Vernon.
Well, this is ditch digging that we're talking about, how to get more eyeballs on your work.
Indeed.
Yeah. So, how are you, Ursula? What are you working on?
I am still working on this media tie-in. I am past the halfway point, and have hit kind of the sloggy middle. But my deadline is tight enough that I can't do my usual thing, which is go, okay, I'm going to go work on this other book until I'm ready to work on that one again. It's I gotta get it done. I gotta knock out, like 20,000 words a month on it.
Mm-hmm. That shouldn't be hard for you. You usually do like 1,000 or 2,000 a day, don't you?
I do, yeah, but I try to do 4,000 to 5,000 a week. Like I take weekends off, because otherwise the dying, and so I need another 40,000. I have like 2 months and some change, and that's right about exactly the limit. And so, I can't dick around as much as I would like.
Right.
And of course, when you're in the middle of something like that, every other project is super exciting. Like I could sit down and work on naked mole rats in space, or the next Sword Heart book, or all kinds of stuff. Naked mole rats and Sword Heart. I don't want to cross the streams that much.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'd have to. They'd take over the book.
They probably would. So I'm working on. I've got 3 things that are kind of due. There's my one epistolary project that I'm polishing up, and then there's the collaboration I'm working on that's due December 8th. And then there's my interactive fiction, which half of it is due at the end of the month. And since I don't really think like that, it's going to be interesting. So I'm just going to try to get as much done as I can and see what happens. But, I can't think of half.
In 6 days?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going from word 0. I just don't know where the halfway point is.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So we'll see. So one bit of news before we get into the ditch digging. I read this morning that Naomi Alderman has purchased 6 to Start. And if you don't know these names, you may be familiar with Zombies Run, which is the gamification running app that came out 15 years ago, maybe? But it's she was the writer behind it, and the company grew to make cooler and cooler stuff and still do Zombies Run. And then some crypto guys bought the whole company, and Naomi's now gotten back the rights to Zombies Run, and I think she bought the whole company. So that is like super exciting that a novelist, Naomi wrote The Power, which if you haven't read it, it was on Obama's reading list one year, just Obama's reading list. So
nothing major.
But I'm very excited about that because she wrote a newspaper article about how, she's a novelist that just bought a game design company, and here's why, and talks about how people don't get that, stories happen in games and you need writers for that. And, yes. That's my interesting news for the day. I know that Six to Start was laying off people after the crypto guys took over. So I'm hoping maybe they'll be hiring some producers and some writers again. But I have no idea.
Yeah. I got nothing on that one.
Okay.
I have recommended Zombies Run to people occasionally. But...
Yeah, it's a fantastic... It's an amazing app because the writing is really good. And the audio design is really good. They did one... it's the Southeast Asian vampire myth about the vampires that they hop. And it's like, to Americans, that sounds silly, but they did a, special Halloween one where instead of zombies, it was vampires, and it was the hopping vampires. But the way they did the sound design in your ears was really creepy. So it was, it's a good group of people and really cool, everything they do is awesome. So, yeah. Anyway, I want to take a moment to say hey to chat. K. Kimmy's here, made it on time for once. Welcome. Underpope is lurking from work. Thank you for the lurk. And K. Kimmy would like to remind people that you can leave the leaves. They're natural. My kid would throw their arms around you in gratitude because being the future entomologists they are, they really, really want to keep the yards safe for insects. So, yeah. Sybil Rose is here. Good to see you. It's been a while. K. Kimmy would say, we are old in what is time moment, but yay for Naomi. Yes. Kids Are Asleep is here. Hello. Everybody go follow Kids Are Asleep, but thank you, automatic bots, to give the shout out. And Will is also working from Lurk. Working from Lurk? You talk now, Ursula, because I can't.
Yes, words are indeed difficult. I can't see chat, but thank you all for coming to join us. And you are all individually awesome, and Mer would greet you all personally, except that apparently her tongue has stopped working.
Yes.
And I am sympathetic to this because sometimes you just start talking and the things just do not come out.
Yeah.
I was watching a British sitcom the other day as I think it's called Mrs. Brown's Boys, where they break the fourth wall a lot. And one of the characters is trying to say the name of a comic book convention in town that is super tongue twisting, and he fails. And the main character says, bet you shit when you saw that in the script, didn't you?
Oh, boy. Anyway, we had a couple of things to talk about. I realized something bad that ADHD is doing to my life. There are a lot of bad things that ADHD does to my life, but recently I realized that one of the aspects of most ADHD people is we see a hobby and we want to do it. We very excited about trying a new hobby. And then, of course, we have stashes of yarn and cross-stitch stuff and gardening stuff and terrarium stuff all around the house, the hobbies that we've tried and then given up. for me lately, it's creating stuff. I mean, like media. So I watch The Pen Addict on when he does his streams in the mornings. And I'm like, I like pens. I like ink. Why can't I do a pen or ink focused show? And I've seen other people do really funny videos about getting into K-pop. And I'm getting into K-pop. And so I want to do a funny video about it. And I think one of the reasons why I want to do interactive fiction is because, well, I've played games and they're fun and I want to do that. And I suddenly realized that this desire is coming from this weird part of my brain that's just like, ooh, maybe I can get dopamine over there. Maybe I can get it over here. And that is forever damaging to my actual job, which is writing and podcasting. So
it's the pursuit of novelty. Yeah, that is your brain gets tired of old things very, very quickly, and like maybe this new thing will be interesting. Yeah, that's ADHD in a nutshell.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think identifying it was a good thing for me. Mm-hmm. And now I just have to figure out how to say, you know what? You make that stuff and I'll just watch.
It can be difficult. One thing I have found mildly helpful is like planted aquariums. Those are spectacular. I love them. I would never keep one up, but if you have seen the videos and the pictures, they are amazing.
Planted aquariums, did you say?
Yeah, they're aquariums that feature a lot of live plants. They're beautiful. Like the pretty ones are spectacular. It's hard to express. You get ones that look like, fields of waving grass and miniature forests and things. Yeah, the solution I have found is like buy a coffee table book about it, and then just look through and go, yep, those are very pretty. And then you don't have to do it.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I have the same problem with urban sketching. Like, I would love to be the sort of person who did that. Mm-hmm. Theoretically, I should be able to be since I'm an artist. Turns out, nope. I do not have that. Like, I'll do it 3 times, usually while I'm traveling, and then forget it for a year. It is a thing I do, like, on a train when I'm bored or sitting in an airport or something. It is not something I do in ordinary life because I have so many things that keep me interested. Nevertheless, I own about 20 books on the subject because some part of my brain is like, but I could do that. And honestly, owning the 20 books is fine because in terms of like time commitments, I am not going out and trying to do it and neglecting other things. So, yeah.
So when you went to your grand adventure in the Himalayas and stuff, one of the things you did was a travel log.
Yeah.
And how difficult was that, knowing that was like something promised to Fox Feather's Kickstarter, right?
Yes. Yes.
So how difficult was it to do that?
It wasn't terrible because I was surrounded by people who were sketching, and it was kind of infectious in that regard. And also, I knew I had already figured out what I was doing in advance, which was a series of like journal entries. So I only had to do like weird little dumb cartoons in the corners. Mm-hmm. And so that worked out okay. And, I was trying, there were still points where I was like, oh God, I really don't want to keep putting these things together. I don't want to keep drawing this stuff, and it has to get done, but it was not as brutal as it could have been, since I did a fair amount of it sort of on site. Yeah. And I wrote down, the journal entries. Mostly it's it was a lot of text and also sort of a running gag from, I have bought a bird book. This is great. This bird book has some flaws. This bird book is wildly inaccurate.
Someone is wrong on the internet.
I will hunt the makers of this bird book for sport.
Yep.
So, yes, you can see my descent into madness over the course of it. But, yeah, it's at that point, it felt like a thing I could do. I just, if I have to do something, I don't want to do it.
Yeah. That's true.
Like, God knows, there's always the things online, and this has gotten worse since people are trying to make anti-AI statements and sort of thing. If you don't love the act of writing, what are you even doing? And I'm always in the background going, okay, there are moments I love in the act of writing, but for the most part, I have to sit down at my job, and I would really rather be dicking around and playing video games all day, because I'm a normal human being. No, I'm not, but in that regard, it's still work. There are still days when, it sucks and you're chiseling out the words, on clay tablets, located inside your rib cage kind of days.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel the whole, you make this because you love the process. Well, no. I love having written a book, as I think it was Dorothy Sayers said, Dorothy Parker, the really clever one from the Algonquin Roundtable, basically said, I hate writing, I love having written.
Yeah.
And because, and that is true, but at the same time, people who are getting very mad, about, AI writing, quite understandably, are saying, but the writing is the fun part. And I'm like,
no.
Is it though?
No.
Is it really? I am not saying that, you should get over the not fun part by using AI, but no, I'm still sitting here beating my head against the keyboard, people. And I sort of worry that discourages writers who do not find the, writing process just nonstop hearts and flowers and orgasms, that they are not a real writer.
Well, yeah, that's what held me back for years, is that I read some writing advice saying that if you don't love it, if you don't run to it excitedly every day, then, why do it? You shouldn't do it. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess I shouldn't do it. Didn't have a lot of spite back then. But
no, spite is a great transformative factor.
So yeah, the is that Hound, or is that Hound's Call?
No.
Oh, okay, I thought I heard knocking.
There was. It was somebody, Kevin pounding on the stepson's door.
Gotcha. Anyway, yeah, I'd say writing is more fun than editing, and writing something new is fun. So I definitely get lots of excitement from that.
Yeah, I did a writers in conversation thing with someone who said that the editing was actually their favorite part, and I sat straight up, pointed like the scene in Body Snatchers, and said, "You are an alien." Yeah.
I've met lots of people like that. They like it because it helps them. They say it's like it's fixing things, and they like to fix things. So
it's the point where they can polish up the book and make it good. And I'm like,
yeah,
I accept that you believe this while also being appalled by the concept.
Well, yeah, it's more like, for me, it's like you have to read it again. Ew.
It's not even that. It's just you have to do so much work, and I'm sure I've talked about this before, but the standard life cycle of edits is the editor sends you the edit letter, you read it, you go there, no, this is completely wrong, none of this is true, I refuse. then 2 days later, you're like, fine, I'll make a few of the minor edits, and then by the end of it, you've done pretty much everything they wanted.
Yeah.
And because
Same here.
probably they were right. But you have to go through the process of, the stages of grief there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Only it's more stages of indignation, I guess.
True. So we have, you wanted to talk about Now You See Me, and I haven't seen this. I know next to nothing about it. But it will be, I'm assuming it's going to be spoilery?
Yeah.
Okay, so spoilers for the movie Now You See Me coming up, but Ursula needs to rant.
I need to rant. God, this movie pissed me off. It was very rare. I have a problem sometimes with watching movies, particularly horror movies, where I am at work. It is difficult for me to watch a horror movie now and just enjoy it as a thing. I am sitting there, I am on the job, I am going, okay, and then this will happen, and I would have done that scene differently. Okay, that was interesting. Nope, that doesn't work at all. All right, you need to spend more time on this. I try not to let that spill into watching other things, although sometimes it still does. But this is the price of spending a lot of time in a genre. And horror in particular, because the structure of horror is so vitally important to whether it works or it doesn't. You spend a lot of time sort of in there. And the Now You See Me is a big, dumb heist movie about stage magicians pulling off a heist. Great. Should have been a great premise.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It does, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And they could not decide whether to focus on the magicians or on the FBI agent trying to catch them. Okay, I'm like, all right, I would have picked one and committed. But okay, if we're going with the FBI guy's point of view, fine, we can make this work. And it goes, and then at the end, and you're like, okay, fine, I will accept the movie for what it is. And then you get to the end, and the big reveal is that the FBI agent, who's sort of been the sympathetic character, you've been, like the audience standing going, what the hell are they doing, trying to catch them, turns around and is actually the one of their co-conspirators and has been in on it all along. And it negates the entire movie. If you do something like that, it's the same as waking up and it was all a dream at the end of the book.
So wait, I'm sorry. I lost track of something. So it wasn't a dream.
No,
but it was.
It has this. It's the same flaw you get but it was all a dream in that you negate the struggles of the characters.
Okay.
Like it is, you have spent, like if you write a book or a story or whatever, and you get the reader involved, and then at the end you yank the rug away and say, no, none of that was real, it was all fake, haha, made you care. Your reader does not tend to enjoy this.
Mm-hmm.
You can pull it off if you write like an angel. I do not write like an angel. I don't know many people who do.
Yeah.
So this is one of those, yes, it's a rule, don't do this. Yes, rules are made to be broken. I suspect that neither you or me or anyone listening is the person who is the one to break that rule, but go ahead and prove me wrong, kids. It's fine. But the point is, you don't negate the struggle of your character because it's, then what was the point? It feels very cheap. And this, by suddenly doing a completely nonsensical last-minute twist, basically not only negated all of the struggles of the person you were rooting for, but also our stage magician heroes or whatever. Suddenly all their tricks were not that good because the guy who was trying to catch them was actually on their side the whole time. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden it went from being, look at this amazing trick to, yeah, okay, no, whatever, it was an audience plan. And you're like, okay, that's not nearly as impressive. It was a very yank the rug out from under, and like any other character in the movie they could have done this with, and it would have been fine. But they picked the one where it just A, made no goddamn sense at all, and B, negated pretty much the entire movie. And so I was just staring at it going, I want to get a hold of this script with a red pen and just start going to town.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, this is not to say that you cannot have the story is different than you thought it was. Moments. Take An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge by Ambrose Bierce, where I'm going to spoil this one, but it is from 1890, so I think the statute of limitations is passed.
Hey, Ursula.
Where
can you hold that thought? There's an ad right now.
Okay.
And so a lot of people are missing out on your brilliant discussion of rantification of So we shall wait.
No problem.
Thank you. Kay Kimmy says they should know better than to interrupt Ursula mid-rant. So, a couple of chat discussion is, Kay Kimmy loved that movie, although she was in a Ruffalo phase, and thought that the reveal didn't negate the premise. Remember going back and enjoying the first part of the movie in light of this new info. But yeah,
it is okay to feel that way, mm-hmm. And you're wrong, but I accept your wrongness.
I don't think you can be wrong on what you like.
Yeah. Okay, that's probably true.
Yeah. My chat thing says that the ads are...
Wham, then you are wrong.
What? What about Wham?
If it's the Last Christmas song by Wham and you like that, then you are wrong.
You know,
I'm comfortable stating this.
There's a documentary about that song now. I don't know. Anyway, so we were about to discuss the occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge, and I just want to say I'm either really annoyed with you or very impressed that you remember the date that story was written.
I only remember that because I looked it up yesterday and made a rant to make sure that, because I was about to say something was over a century old, and then I was like, let me check and make sure I'm right.
Okay.
But yes, Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge, if you have not read it, you probably should. It's one of the great American short stories. And it is basically one of those, the whole story is taking place in the last few seconds of the guy who is currently being hanged. Yeah, hanged, yes. And he hears a weird loud noise, and it is like his watch ticking, and then there's a whole sequence where he thinks he's escaped, he goes, and then things get progressively weirder and weirder, and then he finally gets home. He's been trying to get home this whole time. He sees his family, and then something hits him on the back of his head, and it's the knot of the noose, and the whole thing took place in the half second while he was on the drop.
Yeah.
And that works and does not negate it, because the struggle that he goes through it still feels real, and also it is fucked up.
Yeah.
Interestingly fucked up. And so something like that works. Jacob's Ladder.
I was about to say.
Interestingly fucked up, and sort of reveals the plot, over time as you learn about the drug and whatnot as part of the dream sequence. So that works, but somehow, but it was all a dream doesn't possibly. I think it's because if you wake up at the end of It's All a Dream, you're fine, and none of what you did, the struggle was not real, and none of it mattered, and caring about it didn't matter. If you don't wake up because you are currently dying, and it ends when somebody zips the body bag over your head, then the struggle was not negated because, yes, that was fucked up and now you're dead.
You definitely changed.
Yes, so it's, yeah.
So how do you feel about, there were several episodes of Star Trek that people would think if it happened to you, you would be severely mentally damaged. For example, like Picard lives a whole other life and with a wife and a child and in like a vineyard, and then he's woken up and that was all in his head. And, you know, at the end of the episode, he's fine, or beginning of the next episode, he's fine. And not a lot of scars carry over in Star Trek Next Generation, but that one always bothered me is when terrible or like just really, really heavily emotional things happen to them. And then next episode's fine.
There is actually an episode where Picard falls in love, and one of the things he confesses to the woman is about having lived that other life in the probe and how it affected him.
Oh, wow.
So I actually give that one, that specific incident, a pass based on the fact that it did come back. It's also like he had PTSD from being Locutus of Borg.
Yeah.
And that like came back occasionally, and there were, you know, like when he was getting when the one crazy McCarthyism episode came around, and the woman was like, you know, are you sure you're not one of the Borg? And he is like, what the fuck? He doesn't say it because, you know, it's
Picard,
also
but, TV.
Yeah, but but yes, the one you lived a whole life and then it wasn't real, that one would mess you the hell up. You would go completely bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was like 5, and I remember this, I had a dream where like a whole lot of time had passed in the dream and I was an adult, and then I woke up and I was like, whoa, okay, that was weird. And in some tiny, probably weed-addled part of my mind, there is a fear that someday I'm going to wake up and I am going to be 4 going, oh yeah, that was weird. I really hope that doesn't happen. That will piss me off a lot.
Whenever something bad happens to me, I kind of hope that. I kind of hope that I'm the daydream and it's just going to reset.
Yeah, no, I am sufficiently happy with my life, and also just God, there would be so much work to do over.
I know. No, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying my entire life is like that. I'm just saying, like, you know, when just if something bad happens, you're just like, I don't want to be in this timeline anymore. Maybe it's a dream and I'll wake up. But
yeah, I no, totally. I've got which is a very normal response. This has to be a nightmare.
Yeah,
this is not really happening. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I don't know. The thing is that the real failure is, of course, the dream sequences are never anywhere near that logical and straightforward.
Yeah.
I had a really messed up dream the other night that was fascinating while I was in it, and then I'm trying to explain it to Kevin, and about the only part I could explain was that I was living in a society where the villain I had brought to justice, because we could not execute people, had their consciousness split in half and placed in 2 heavily sedated white rabbits.
Why?
Yeah, like just, I don't know. That's what they were in the dream. I saw them. They were albino. You know, the big white bunnies with the pink eyes. And I was, which was why I woke up yelling, "That's not enough! Put the bunnies in a wood chipper." But it wasn't enough. Dude was a super villain. He was trying to come back. He was like hammering out binaries on the pipes to try to make the computers go nuts. They should have just fed the bunnies into a wood chipper and it would have been fine. This is why dreams are loud. Everyone's like, oh, you can't write a book based on your dreams. Your dreams don't make any goddamn sense most of the time.
Yeah, well, also one thing about dreams is that your mind attaches meaning to certain things. And you can wake up with this profound feeling of tenderness or loss or fear. But if you tried to explain to somebody what in the dream was scary or that you lost or that made you happy, oftentimes it doesn't make any sense because it's just something your brain said, let's anthropomorphize this emotion, only not cute like Pixar. And I had a dream live in my head for a long time, and I tried to write it out and gave it to a writer friend of mine, and he gave it a bad review. I mean, not like mean, but he's just like, yeah, this story doesn't work. And I'm like, you're right. Okay, at least I got it out of my head.
There's on the visual art front, every now and then, you'll like dream I saw this great painting, and people will be like, but I can't remember what it looked like. And I'm like, it didn't look like anything. There was never actually a painting. Your brain did not make a great painting that you could feel awed by. Your brain just made you feel awed by a great painting and cut that part entirely. So, no, you're not forgetting this amazing thing you saw. You never saw anything. You just, got the emotion of seeing something amazing.
Yeah.
Because that's much easier to do than actually having your brain create a brilliant painting. I think on one occasion have I done a painting based on something I saw in a dream, and it was goth as fuck, but not by any means deathless.
Right. Let's see. In the chat, Valerie Valdez is yelling symbolism. And Kay Kimmy says, let's not get into the trope of a character reliving a memory perfectly in a dream. Yes. Underpope says, I often dream about not being able to find a brilliant story that I have written. Oh no. That's, yeah.
I frequently have a dream where I have a half-written book somewhere that I am like, oh, thank God, I can hand this in and work on it instead, and then wake up and I'm like, that book does not exist. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, guys, if you have any questions for the Ditch Diggers, please put them in chat, or if you're listening to this after our live stream, please send it to us. We'd love to have the feedback. You can send it to mightymur@gmail.com, and we'll wait for chat people to come up with anything. What'd you say?
We didn't talk too much about digging ditches today, except perhaps the distractions of ADHD.
Yeah.
And why dream stuff, but it was interesting.
Yeah. I basically ran to Publishers Weekly to see if I could see anything worth talking about, and all I saw was that the federal judges keep telling the federal government, no, you can't stop giving money to libraries. So that's good, but there's not a lot to say about that, because it would make me either very angry or depressed that it's happening at all. But
yeah.
Yeah.
No, Darcy Little Badger posted a thing where she turned down a writing or a speaking engagement because it was at a college in, I think, Utah, and they were like, you cannot mention, diversity, bias, inclusion. They gave her a list, and she was like,
nope.
No. And yeah, it's horrible that people are in that situation, but yeah, absolutely, turn that down.
Yeah. Valerie says today's discourse is about piracy again. So,
I mean, I think we have all hammered out our respective positions so thoroughly that, I don't know if there's any point in the discourse over it now.
Yeah.
You're not going to stop anybody.
Yeah.
And who is going to do it, and we're not suddenly going to get money. So yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
I wish that, we could get a discourse with more meat on it, like fanfic or, I don't know.
Fanfic.
If I could think of a discourse with more meat on it, I would be discoursing on it.
That's true. That's true. And, are you going to be the person to bring it up and then make half of the internet mad at you and the other half going, no, this is a good idea.
Yeah. I did see that back on the hell site of Twitter, Elon Musk for about a couple of hours activated a show what location the poster is coming from thing, and it turned out that an astounding number of America First types are from Nigeria, Russia, Indonesia, and all the pro-Russia accounts are not from Russia. And which doesn't surprise anyone, I suppose, on some level, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I promise you, I am coming to you from New Mexico. Really.
Yeah. And I'm coming to you from North Carolina still.
And there actually is a sport, lawnmower racing.
I do not want to see it.
I use the word sport loosely in this case, but yes, you can race lawnmowers.
Don't they have fixed speeds? I guess people are tinkering with them.
I assume that it's like Rallycross or something, and you're modding your lawnmower.
Yeah.
But I genuinely don't know. I suppose that is a research rabbit hole I could go down, but I still haven't gotten back the time from going down the rabbit hole about reef ball burial, which actually sounds really cool. So reef balls are these concrete structures that they place so that like oysters and corals latch onto, and they actually work pretty well if they're designed right. And you can get your ashes mixed with the concrete of one and sunk onto a reef and become coral reef habitat.
Wow. I expect a couple of sentient coral reef stories to surface anytime. Of course, that happens a lot, I think. Not a lot, but it's not an idea that I feel is like hugely groundbreaking.
You'd figure that like the Great Barrier Reef as an ecosystem, sort of as a Gaia hypothesis, should be a single entity. And like there should be like a reef speaker or something who is in charge of communicating for them.
Right. I don't have our anglerfish story on my list of projects I need to do. I need to put it on there.
It's okay. I'm so busy that it would not even have occurred to me to ask.
Yeah. Well, if you guys in chat don't have any questions, I think we can wrap it up here. Ursula, tell people where to find you on the internet.
I'm on Blue Skies T Kingfisher. You can find my books at wherever fine books are sold. And my website is Red Wombat Studio, which I really should update at some point.
Yeah,
Since
you probably
it's
should.
Still saying, I think, that Hemlock and Silver is coming soon. And
yeah, that's out. I guess you know that, though.
Yeah, but that one's out. The next book after that is out, and the book after that is officially out December 1st, but had kind of a soft launch on Amazon. So yeah,
the Snake Eaters.
It's 2 books behind. Yeah.
Yes, I was talking about it the last I Should Be Writing. So.
Oh, cool. Wait, did you read it?
Not yet. I'm going through all the books that I have been given or sent and talking about them because I can't interview everybody who sent me a book. So I'm at least trying to promote them.
That is not you should read it soon. As you know, I would never ask a follow-up except that you said you talked about it. And I was like, wait, you actually read it? That was astonishing. So yeah, no, don't worry.
No, I do like your writing. I'm just very behind.
Oh, good. No. Story of my life.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can find me at merverse.com or mightymur@gmail.com. If you have questions for the Ditch Diggers, email me and we'll talk about it next time. Hopefully we can get one more in before the new year. Do you think, Ursula?
Yeah, that should be doable.
Okay. I think you're traveling next week, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll shoot for the week after. And, yeah, you can support the Patreon at patreon.com/mightymur and help keep us going and fed and all that. What else is there? I have another podcast called I Should Be Writing. If you search for I Should Be Writing or Ditch Diggers or Mur Lafferty, you'll find them all. And my latest book is called Infinite Archive. It is a murder story in space and it's got cats. So, I mean, what's not to like?
Damn straight.
We will see you guys next time. This podcast was produced under Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives License. Music provided by Devo Spice, devospice.com.
Ditch Diggers!
This is a free podcast brought to you by the kindness of our patrons. If you would like to also be kind and a patron, go to patreon.com/mightymur.